All right, what a beautiful Tuesday afternoon it is in the capital city of Abuja. And I'm very excited to be here. My name is Dayo Omogun, and for how many days now, I've not been here. And so I'm actually signing in. I'm just resuming for the 2026 year, and I've had to take some rest. A friend of mine said it's when you travel abroad that it's called a vacation, but when it's done locally, just say that you've been on holidays. Well, I don't know which one it is, but I've had to take some rest, and it was worth it, and I do hope that I can bring back some renewed energy, and I'm really excited about it. I'm really excited to be here again. And of course, I'm broadcasting to you from Kaftan Television, and the program remains The Polity. On The Polity, we bring you trending national, international topics, and one of them that's really hot right now in the public space is the issue that has to do with America suddenly removing a sitting president from office in his own country, relocating him to their own country, and then putting him in detention. In actual fact, while we do not know whether those pictures are true, we have seen pictures of the man in cuffs, and I don't know. So that's what we intend to talk about today. But how has it been in your new year? This is New Year. Happy New Year to you. And this is my first opportunity to say so to a whole lot of my fans, a whole lot of our viewers on this station who make it a point of duty to stay tuned to Kaftan TV. Let me give you a bossa. I really want to say thank you to you for your devotion, for your commitment, for your faithfulness, for your loyalty to our brand. And I can't say it enough. You've been wonderful. And I do hope that going forward we can count on that same solid rock solid loyalty, and the faithfulness, the commitment, the devotion. And I can assure you that in the course of the year we will do a whole lot more to meet your needs, meet your desires. We know that you have very high taste. You are very discerning. You are very enlightened people, and so we're working every time to ensure that we hone our skills, work on our programs and the delivery, so that we don't let you down. Yeah. If you like, you could give yourself a thumbs up. You're a great Nigerian. You're a great guy wherever you're watching from. Thank you so very much for being part of us. Now, so like I said before, now how do you see what happened a few days ago? I don't know whether it's up to a week right now, when Trump's troops, Trump's soldiers got into Venezuela and just picked up the Venezuelan president and took him to America. And as we speak, from all reports, very credible reports, he is in like a detention. He's like in some hold, and so many people are wondering, is that some movie or what? When you consider that there's a concept called national sovereignty. And so while some people, including some people even in our own environment here in Nigeria, some people are excited and saying, wonderful, and they have the best compliments for it. There are many millions of people from around the world who frown at what has happened and who see it as bizarre, And so the point is that we need to take a look at this and see exactly where we stand on this. Where do you stand? How do you see what has happened? Is it good riddance to bad rubbish in in Venezuela, or is it like a nightmare, a dream, a nightmare that refuses to wear off, to fade off, a hangover, a bad dream? Or what exactly is it for you? I don't know. Many people say, as far as national sovereignty is concerned, there are limits to what you can do, country to country, president to president, people to people. But that whatever inspired Trump to order his men into Venezuela could not ever have gone down as something positive. Well, I don't know, but that's what we will be talking about even in the next few minutes. Of course, just in case, maybe this few days that I've been gone, you probably have forgotten my name. My name is Dayo Omogun, and I'll be right back after this break. And then I do hope that we can really hit the ground when we get back and have a full program. We have a free flowing program the way we normally have it. How are you doing? Well, let me get back first after the program. Now, welcome back to Kaftan Television in the Center of Unity, Abuja. And this is coming to you from Kaftan Television. And of course, the name of the program is The Polity. Your anchor is Dayo Omogun. And I have right here with me my guest, one and only Cosmos Uzodimma. No one does it better than him. Bold, courageous, articulate, intelligent, deep. Insightful. I wish I could manufacture some more complimentary adjectives for you. You're welcome.
Thank you, Dayo, and thank you, our very valued audience. I must say, I feel flattered by that introduction.
Really?
Anyhow, we give God the praise.
All right.
Thank you.
No flattery whatsoever. No flattery whatsoever. Yes. You've earned every single letter of whatever has been pronounced. You're welcome once again.
Thank you once again.
Yeah, and I'm talking about a public affairs analyst, a journalist, a former Chief Press Secretary to the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, talking about the previous one before this one, and his name is Cosmos Uzodimma. No. All right. Now, so you watched him. If you're a follower of Kaftan Television, you probably have seen him on at least 3 occasions, at least 3 or 4 that he's been with me, and you can trust his wisdom and his ability to communicate, to make his point, and sometimes even though you might not quite agree with him, but then he makes his point, and he makes his point without necessarily saying that you shouldn't make yours, or that yours is not valid. He just makes his point. And let me assure you that even if it's just for 5-7 minutes, we will allow you to make calls into the show in the course of time. Now, welcome, Uzodimma.
Thank you very much.
Or would it be Cosmos?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Now, so a few days back, we saw, as if in a movie, we saw how a president from one country, and that's talking about Trump, the United States of America, went into another country. That's talking about his men, his forces, and picked up another president from another country, took that president into his own country, and as we speak, we hear reports that the person is under lock and key. And so you begin to wonder, isn't that bizarre? As far as you're concerned, is this praiseworthy or condemnable?
Well, I don't think I'm going to take a position on that.
Okay.
Because it happens. You did it.
Oh, I did it?
Yes, there was a coup supposed to be a coup in Benin. What did you do? The Republic of Benin, what did you do? The aircraft, the military aircraft of Nigeria flew in. And before you knew it, it became a story. And the coup was quashed. So if you are looking into where you are, this is simply another degree of the thing you attempted in the Republic of Benin when there was a coup there. And this is not the first time.
So like they say that people must come to equity, must come to
clean hands. So as far as Nigerians are concerned, exactly, you cannot come with a clean hand as far as this is concerned. I think under Obasanjo's regime, there was a coup in an island country, and we moved our forces there, and we stopped it.
But when you compare fruits, shouldn't you compare oranges with oranges rather than compare oranges with apples? We're talking. You just cited examples of where a coup, a coup, as far as international law is concerned, is illegal. It's employing violence to take power from many times a duly elected government. There's
an international law of inviolability of territories. That's what's called sovereignty.
Right.
That's what's called. You do not get the principle of non-intervention in a country's internal affairs. You understand? So if you say so, an international law has been violated.
And there's
no international law that says if there's going to be a coup somewhere that any country can go there. There's no such a thing, and it's not the first time it's happening. It happened under Noriega in Panama in the early 50s or 60s. The American government went there, and the same thing that happened in Venezuela also happened there. It also happened in Chile. It was even worse because the man was killed. Salvador Allende of Chile he died in the process of while Pinochet was a CIA engineered coup, and he was eliminated. It also happened in Congo. Patrice Lumumba. It has been there. So that has been the game that superpowers play.
All right, now let me take you up right on that.
Yes.
Because you see, you have reality and then you have the ideal.
Yes.
Now, if we say that because it happens, if it happens, does it make it right?
Yes.
There's prostitution. Does it make prostitution right? There's illicit drug trade.
Yes.
Does it make it right? There is banditry. Does it make it right? So,
you are very correct. But when a time comes in a nation's life when a people have been subjugated for a very long time, and the principle of democracy has been abused, because this man we're talking about did not win the election. He just, somebody won the election, but he rigged himself in. And when
talking about the Venezuelan president.
So when things happen this way, and help comes from elsewhere, that's where you notice that the citizens of the country begin to jubilate. So automatically, the joy, the internal happiness of the people of the land automatically seem to legitimize such an act, irrespective of the fact that the international law has said something else. What is law? Law are the rules that are made by the elite to safeguard their interest. It doesn't have anything to do with the masses. At a point in time, the masses begin to wonder, what is this law we're talking about? We talk about democracy in Nigeria. We have been in a country where somebody who came forth is a governor of a state, became governor of a state. And what did you do? So if something happened at that point in time to install the right mandate of the people, what happens? The people begin to jubilate. So you begin to say, but the Supreme Court has ruled. So does the fact that the Supreme Court rule does it abolish the right of the people to choose who governs them? So these are the debates that has been on now. So there are times there is what's called morality and there is law. And then when the reality takes precedence, I think we should, in any case, every responsible human being must root for a government, a regime of law. If laws have been placed, they must be obeyed. But the moment you begin to, violate that law, you create a room for other illegalities.
All right, now there's something you said, that the fact that people jubilated or are jubilating legitimizes the act.
Yeah.
Now, you talked about morality and law.
Yeah.
Now, which supersedes? Which is supposed to trump the other?
Locke says it, that the welfare of the people is the greatest law. Jean Locke, he says the welfare of the people is the greatest law. If a person has been oppressed, if a man has a family, normally you shouldn't go into any man's family, but this man has been bullying his family. And then somebody said, no, we have to stop this. Bolton takes the man out. Wouldn't the family be happy? So this is what's called, that's what Jean Locke said, that the welfare of the people is the greatest law.
All right, now, so you believe that sometimes there can be an interplay that makes legitimacy trump legality.
Yes, legitimacy trumps legality.
Sometimes
welfare of the people, life,
morality should trump the law.
Yes, I think so. When there is clear evidence that a people are under the jackboots of a dictator, anything done to deliver the people from the jackboots of a dictator, trumps the legality, the legalese of international law, or what we call municipal law.
All right, rather than bring about what you could call brigandage,
yes.
Is it not better to navigate the inbuilt mechanisms of the law designed to deal with such glitches, if you like?
I agree. Yes, if as much as is possible, we should do our best to navigate, because once we begin to violate the law with reckless abandon,
then you set very terrible precedents.
Then a terrible precedent has been set. And it was because of the former breaches, that is what has seemed to legitimize the current breach, because there have been many occasions in which the superpowers, especially America, one of the worst is the Iraq War, the case of the bogus weapon of mass destruction
that were never found,
based bases on which Iraq was invaded.
Yes.
Thousands, hundreds of thousands of people died in that war. The entire system disintegrated.
Yes.
It's even worse than this.
Far worse, yeah.
Far worse than this. And what did the world do? It moved on. And so one of the reasons we kept, and it points to the failure of the United Nations Organization.
Right, I was going to go there.
It points to the failure of the United Nations Organization, starting from, the League of Nations was formed to after the First World War, and at the end of the day, it couldn't do anything. It didn't solve the problem. Second World War came, and they tweaked a lot of mistakes that were made in the League of Nations. And on that basis, and one of them was that America, was the founding father of the League of Nations. When they took the act, the treaty to the Senate, they said no, America wasn't interested. So the founder of an organization was not there. The chief policeman of the world wasn't there. So it collapsed. Then the next thing that happened was that United Nations was formed after the Second World War. And we're still seeing the inadequacies, especially the subject of the Security Council, which has given 5 nations veto power. So it can't do anything. It can't achieve anything. Because normally the Security Council was supposed to be a big global policeman that once a nation is acting contrary to the rules of the international games, that the Security Council can mobilize an army and go and stop it. But it has come to a point where the members of the Security Council are the biggest criminals. Russia is bullying Ukraine. America is there bullying everybody in the Western Hemisphere. All the Americans where which Monroe Doctrine said, look, all you foreign powers, get off our backyard. And then you see China bullying Taiwan. You see France bullying those toy countries in francophone countries. And as I'm talking to you now, France has done some bombings, and Britain have done some bombings in Syria. Entering Syria and say they call it ISIS, and they're bombing the area. So these are the owners, the so-called Big Five, are the people those who wield veto power in the United Nations Security Council, are the biggest criminals. Those who are violating the laws.
All right, now, so what do you think the rest of the world can do, especially using the vehicle of the United Nations? Is there still some hope of redemption for the United Nations?
As far as the United Nations is concerned, as presently constituted, they cannot do anything. You know,
it's just a toothless bulldog.
Yeah, it's a toothless bulldog. What they try to do, what Bolaji Akinyemi tried to do, the concert of medium powers, which Bolaji Akinyemi, groups can serve as a balancing, ways to balance, like we're talking about BRICS, but America is fighting BRICS, and we're talking about if we had a concert of medium powers that can now checkmate the superpowers. But unless there are those groups, so there'll be balance of terror. But insofar as there are no groups, defense groups that can balance the terror of the Big Five, they'll continue to do as they wish. Wow. in the international scene.
What does that portend for the future of our world that has become a global world?
Over time.
Because if you can get into Venezuela and do this,
we're looking at
get into anywhere and do the same thing.
Well, it's not only him.
Yeah, that's what the point you made before.
It's not only him. We're every time we bully America. You know what Trump?
You think we bully America?
Well, yes, everybody continues to say America, but nobody's talking about Russia. Nobody's talking about China in Taiwan. The gambits that China is doing in the Straits of Taiwan. Nobody's talking about China invading, the backyard of America. Is building what do you call it? The arm industry in Venezuela. It is China that is building it now.
Is there a problem with that?
Well, you see, there's what is called every country, security consideration, strategic interests.
Yeah.
You don't want a belligerent nation, an adversary, to be doing parade at your backyard. Russia, China have no business in American backyard. This is the reason Russia is bullying Ukraine. Say, NATO powers, you have no business in my backyard. And if you look at the negotiations so far, Trump seems to recognize that. And one of the things that Trump is telling Zelensky is, look, Zelensky, this man has invaded you, he has gotten some countries, some land, especially Crimea. Imagine Crimea that was gotten in another war and that has been like an already established consensus. Well, Russia is in Crimea. Let that be just there. In the negotiations, in this present negotiations, Zelensky is bringing it up that Russia must leave Crimea, so on and so forth. And Trump is saying, oh wow, why that? Why are you making, concessions difficult? We're even talking about Donbass, even to the point. But while in Trump's interest, Trump even wants even Donbass not to be part of the negotiation. Let Russia be where it is now, while we bring peace under the present status quo. This is it. So, but once America is like, once America does it, meanwhile America is the most responsible of the superpowers. Is the most responsible.
How do you much most responsible with what has happened?
Yes, because there is opposition. Opposition in America is alive. There is a Democratic Party. Many of the things that, no matter what Trump does, in 4 years' time he will go. And if Americans don't like it, another person will come over. And they have a modicum of human rights, a modicum of debate. You can see people in the Senate, in the Congress, they are attacking what has been done. You understand? Mm-hmm. But you can't do it in China. You die. You can't do so in Russia. They will eliminate the person. So a multipolar, a unipolar world defense system, world power, a unipolar global system where America is the leading power is saner than a unipolar system where it is China or Russia.
Well, maybe we have not had such a scenario, so maybe we can't really tell.
Yes.
Because many times what we don't have seems to be a lot better than what we have.
Yeah, yes.
Like they talk about.
Why you say you've not had it?
The grass being greener on the other side.
Yes. Why you say so is look at Russia's satellite towns. Look at the way they have conducted their affairs in the places where they have been. Just like we talk about China. Look at how China treats its satellite town. Look at how a country will behave outside by looking at the way it treats its citizens. Why are they running away? How many Americans are leaving America in droves and going to other countries? It's every other country that's running away and going to America. You can see even you can imagine even the specter of Ilhan Omar. Look at how he will be calling the president a fool. Can you do that in China, in Russia? You know a country by seeing the way it treats its citizens.
I agree with you. Let's go a little bit further. But I think that we need to take a break at this point.
Yes.
And then when we get back, we'll make progress.
Yeah, okay.
Welcome back. You're still on to the polity, and we've been talking about what transpired between America and Venezuela, and we're looking at the concept of national sovereignty and whether that still is still valid, and where does it stand in the scheme of the current reality. Now, I've had with me, and I still have with me, Cosmas Uzodimma, ex-Chief Press Secretary to the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, and a very articulate public affairs analyst, and he's been he didn't take a hardline position, but somehow he doesn't quite condemn what Trump has done. And so I'm going to ask him, so if you say that this happens, it has happened here, it has happened there, it has happened there, from the instances that you have cited, if we allow that, will that not be an invitation to chaos around the world?
Yeah.
Are we not? Is that not a reflection of a very narrow-minded narrative that endorses might is right.
Correct. I think it was Jean-Jacques Rousseau that said might is right. And might has always been right.
Really?
Yes. Okay. People are being bullied every day, killed. See what happened in Niger.
So why do we have issues with bullies?
Yes.
If might is right.
Okay, what has happened? What is Boko Haram doing to you? What is ISIS-ISWAP doing to you? What have you done? Is it because you cannot do anything? It's because might is right. Imagine if you stay in your time that somebody will go to the road, harvest human beings, and then go into the bush, bully them, and then you bring millions of naira to him to bring your person out, and you are condemning others. So what are we talking about? Might has always been right. The logic, do you have election? All these things you are talking about the election, is it not mere facade? How many people in power because there was free and fair election? Those things, are they not mere jokes? Somebody has said something. Any person is people who are is the game of the rich, for the rich and by the rich. So when all these things happen, it is easy for us to go into platitudes. It is wrong, it is right, it is this. Even in the church. Everything that has been written in the Bible? Is it what you go to sit down in the church? Sometimes if you pick your Bible and read, you discover more than so many parts of the Bible that have been avoided, that people are not even preaching about. Some people pick the area that leads to the oligarchy.
Humongous wealth.
It's called the oligarchy. The permanence of the oligarchy. The oligarchy wants to harden themselves, and the scripture they will always give to you, feed you from the altar, is a scriptures that consolidate the position of the ecclesiastical oligarchy. So this is the same thing in politics. They make the rules. The rules are designed to entrench the class in power. So just the way you have a class that bullies you, that dictates what happens at the local government level, you have one that dictates and bullies you at the national level. So you must have one that dictates and bullies you at the international level. Everything you are doing is just a waste of time. I called my junior once sometime. I said, look, this world is, you can imagine, people like Asari Dokubo, people like Ateketon, governor. So what makes them what they are? So if you are there, you're a coward. You're sitting down and dictating and talking and pontificating. You pontificate until the day they'll carry the person's coffin and say, "Go in peace." There's nothing. All these things we thank God that somehow.
And you don't think that this is a promotion of violence?
I'm not
or the invasion of territorial integrity, of the disrespect for territorial integrity?
You see, except there's what for me, global order has never been because of respect for territorial, finesse, gentleman's conduct. I've always been yes.
Is it good that way?
It's not good.
Should mean that way.
It is not good. It's never good. It is evil. It's condemnable. But that is the reality. Balance of terror is what stops people. Balance of terror.
There's this angle to all of this. By the way, if you are out there and you want to be a part of this, please do call in, and the number is on the screen. Please, we expect that you will join us and make your own perspective known.
Yeah.
We appreciate you. You are very much valued, and I do not take for granted that in the opening lines, in Cosmos Uzodima's opening lines, he welcomed our much valued audience. It speaks to the fact that not just us, but even those we bring in appreciate the fact that you are out there, and that without you, the system is incomplete. So please do call in, and we will take your calls. And someone is here already. Please do permit me to. Oh no, sorry, please do that again. That's my fault. I take responsibility. I clicked the wrong button. I'm sorry. Please do call back, whoever you are. Please do call back immediately, and I'm ready to pick. And how do they say it now? Error of my finger. Sorry. All right. Okay. Hello.
Hello, sir.
You're welcome, sir.
Yes, I'm calling from Agri, Niger State.
All right, welcome. What's your name?
My name is Abdul Kadri.
Well, I heard Abdul Kadri clearly, yeah? Go ahead.
Yes, sir. I want to comment on the capture of Venezuela's president.
Go ahead, yeah.
Yes, sir. What I'm saying, what are the American people up to? Are they the godfather of the world or the police of the world? Why should they go and interfere with other countries' presidents? This is very deplorable. That means there is no freedom in this world.
Yeah, thank you.
What about if Russia should imitate them? Will we be in peace?
If Russia should imitate them.
All right, okay. Would we now have peace?
But Russia is imitating them.
Well, my guess says Russia does the same.
They are doing that in Ukraine.
Russia did the same.
Yes,
in Ukraine.
they did that in Georgia.
But did not capture the president.
It's a function of level. That is a function of level.
It's a war.
That's even war.
All right, Abdul Karim. So, which is worse, a full-blown war, and the evacuation of a president?
Clinical.
Yeah, which one's worse?
This was Venezuela. It's just like a kidnapping.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is that Trump is a kidnapper.
Please, no, I do not think that we should go there. Please.
He's a kidnapper.
All right. Okay. Abdul Karim, right? Yes. Yes. Let's leave it at that point. I would not want us to call people, especially of high note, those kind of names. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah, like what he said.
Yes.
Like what he said. You see, which I would let me not go there. Look how many people have died. Venezuela, 8 million Venezuelans are in exile, have left Venezuela. 8 million. And it has destabilized that area. Number two, a lot of them now, what they do, the only economy they are running, this is a country that has the highest oil reserve in the world.
Yeah.
Yet 8 million of its citizens have run out of the country.
Well, many people are saying that America is not really interested in but interested more in some other issues, like the one that you have just hinted at. And let's take this call. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
This is Timba Moses calling from Benue State.
Terimba Moses, welcome.
Moses calling from Bonita.
Yeah.
This is what America has just done is a welcome issue.
What the Americans have done is a welcome issue?
Yes.
All right.
And I expect them to extend it to Nigeria.
Why?
Allowing terrorists and bandits to be killing people without reason makes no sense. I believe if America is not around, this entire world would have become something else. Because if you stay in Venezuela now, the country is not enjoying any dividend as citizens of that country.
Well, okay, go on.
So, me, I'm in support of what American is doing.
All right, thank you. Let's. Yeah.
There are other countries. Like Russia. What they are doing to the other country closer to them.
Ukraine.
The same thing. Hello.
Ukraine.
Yes, Ukraine. It's worse than what America is doing. America is trying to make sure that people enjoy everything about this world.
Well, okay.
I want them to come to Nigeria.
All right, Taremba Moses. Let's leave it there. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Now, let me ask you, because many people around the world are saying that America usually has ulterior motives when they go into those kind of places. They've asked, for example, why didn't they venture into Haiti? Haiti is even closer to America. Why are they not interested in Haiti? Because that's like a dry place. So why these
those who are saying why they're not interested in Haiti is they forget that America removed Jean Bertrand Aristide of Haiti. They did the same thing to Haiti.
Now Haiti is worse off, isn't it?
Yeah, Haiti is worse off, but at least what they have seen, maybe they. As long as Russia, their enemies are not there, and there are bands.
Let me quickly take this, and please don't lose the train of your thoughts.
Yes.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello. Good evening.
Good afternoon. Okay, whichever. Yeah.
Okay, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
My name is Dr. Abubakar.
Dr. Abubakar, welcome.
Sadiq, how are you?
Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Katagun, Bauchi State.
Bauchi State. All right. How's Bauchi today?
Sorry?
How's Bauchi today?
Bauchi is
Or maybe better to ask, how is Katagum today?
Yes, fine. Everything is fine.
Go straight to your point. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. At first, I want to congratulate my colleague, the presenter or the visitor.
All right.
Though he feared his visa to America, he didn't take hardline. Maybe he feared that they would take him a visa. So he didn't take hardline. What America did is wrong.
All right.
Yes. There is no any international that are giving the permission, even though this is not the first time. You remember what they did in Panama. Noriega, now the president of Panama is serving 100 years prison service in America.
Yeah, my guest just made some reference to that. Yeah.
So, I'll go to the point. The problem is, American, what do you call it? Trump is very smart. For the last 3 months or 4 months, he wanted to invade Venezuela. But what did he do? He negotiated with Russia on the issue of Ukraine. He gave up Ukraine. Even now, that's why Zelensky is about to resign and put another president. After all what the country has suffered. Now, the second thing is, as my colleague said, the United Nations has now become a useless, or I don't know what to call it. But what happened to the League of Nations, it will happen to United Nations soon. Because we are living in a jungle life.
We are living in a what?
A legitimate president, even if it's not elected, but it's a president. The army surrendered him to America because of they were awarded 50 million. You remember, America put 50 million, and that's why they stormed the presidential bill and took the president. If it is open Shabbat, this will never happen. Now,
if it is what? I didn't hear that.
I think if it is the former president,
okay, it wouldn't happen. Okay.
They will not have done this. Yes. And now, when my colleague was saying about America, that they are doing better, the Congress, they fear Trump. You remember when he lost election against Biden, what did he did? He sent a task to storm the Congress. And I'm telling you, mark me, put it in your theory. Once the Congress go against Trump will bombard Congress, and that will be the end. The first time American Congress will be demolished. And mark this thing. Watch from now to the end of the term, especially it's not after second term.
All right, thank you so very much.
Trump is not trying to to help Venezuela. No, it's the issue of his wealth.
Okay, so last line.
I'm coming to the end.
Yeah, please.
You remember when he threatened Nigeria? It's not that he threatened Nigeria. You remember, President Tinubu didn't support Trump. He supported Kamala Harris. President Tinubu and the South African Ramaphosa. They work in Africa to support Kamala Harris. And Trump will never forget. But because Nigerians, they are very smart. Both the Muslim and Christians, they unite. That's what made Trump to fear Nigeria. And in the case of Venezuela, the people are divided. The politicians are divided. The army too, because of the money. I remember when I was living in Asia, America wanted to kidnap Ramzi Yusuf. What did they do?
We're going to have to round this up.
$1 million. The guy that paid the money were in the same room with you. But only had is in America. We're in the same hotel. So it is wrong. We are giving a bad precedent to the other countries. Look at what Nigeria did in Benin. It was a good work.
Oh, okay.
The president called for the help.
Okay.
Nigeria blocked democracy. Do you think America they are supporting democracy? No.
All right, Dr. Abubakar, we've got to let you go. We just got to let you go because of time. Not that you're making very solid points. Thank you. Thank you very much.
America, they are suffering economically.
All right.
It's a giant.
All right. Can we leave it here now? Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you.
China is done economically.
You are still here. All right. Now we just got to begin to round up, and that's why we had to let him go.
Yeah.
We have absolutely no time right now.
Yes.
But what will be your? There was this question you were trying to answer.
Well, let's get a new one. I've forgotten it.
Yeah, that people have said around the world that America's interests go far beyond trying to restore Venezuela for any altruistic reasons or whatever. That they are interested in the oil wealth of the country, and to see how they can also skim off some.
Yeah, a lot of people say we are always very simplistic in the way we analyze things. A very little thing happened. We say, oh, it's our oil, it's our resources, our resources, our resources.
Maybe because there have been such precedents before. There are reference points. Maybe.
But at the end of the day, your resources is a function of market. It's a function of economy. They are rich enough to buy oil from anywhere. America is number 7 in the world when it comes to oil reserve. And as far as Trump is concerned, it's not into all this issue of climate issue. In fact, he calls it climate scam. They are ready to use coal. They are ready to explore other sources of energy. You understand? Yeah, people may say that, but the principle there is no one-size-fits-all explanation. Energy, yes, but the fundamental thing is strategic interest. The Monroe Doctrine of 1823 that said, look, all former, predatory countries must get off the back of America. Anybody, since America started, nobody everywhere, once you become a threat in their backyard. What of Cuba? Cuba has nothing. But the last thing you do is to go to Cuba to do anything. Cuba is suffering till today. So Cuba is an example. They don't have oil. Haiti, the same thing. They don't have oil. They don't have all these things. But you can't go there to do anything. And America will let you go. Remember the Cuban Missile Crisis. In fact, it was one of the major crises that nearly crippled the world under John F. Kennedy. Until Khrushchev had to back out. He was going to install, strategic arms in Cuba. So you can't do that. They told the ship, move back, go, leave. They were still going. So it was on the red line. If you go beyond this point, we are going to confront you. Khrushchev,
do you have such a scenario in Venezuela right now?
Yes. Number one, Russian missile launchers, nuclear launchers, have landed in Venezuela 3 times. Number two, America, China is now developing, is the country, they put a spy station in Venezuela. That is it. You can imagine the same, what do I call it? The same fear that Russia was expressing about Ukraine. It's what Russia and China are going to do
promoting in
Venezuela.
All right, we got to go. Thank you so very much for coming. You have a last line in 30 seconds.
It is good to have power and to use power to achieve, great ends. America, thank God for a country like America. It has democracy, and even within itself, it's not beyond control. I am very, very sure that if once Trump is going beyond out of the mark, there will be forces in America that are going to curtail its excesses. So America has power and America has control. That's why America, a unipolar world in which America is on top, is better for the world.
Really?
Thank you.
Really?
Yes.
All right, okay, we'll leave it there. Thank you so very much for coming.
Yes.
We say thank you to you for your contributions all the time, and we'll have to leave Cosmos so that we can get into the second segment of this program. Thank you so very much.
Thank you very much.
And I do hope that you stay tuned. Please don't go anywhere, because we're going into the second segment straight away, where we talk about the reverse politics and what's been playing out in recent times. Doesn't look as if we're going to enjoy some respite in spite of all the efforts that's been made, in spite of even the what was that called, the regime of what do you call that now, the truncation of democracy in that space for 6 months has still not produced any results, as it were. That's where we go after this break. Welcome once again to the concluding part of the polity for today. I must apologize, we had some issues and we're starting this segment a little bit late, and I must say sorry to all of you, our valued viewers, and as well as the guests on the other side whom we're connecting via Zoom, and has been at the other end in Port Harcourt, in the person of Dr. Eniza McLean. If you are there, please, let's hear your voice.
Thank you for having me, Mr. Dayo.
Can you be a little bit more audible? Hello?
Thank you for having me, Mr. Dayo. Can you hear me? Yes, I can hear you, Mr. Dayo.
All right, great. All right, Dr. McLean, you are in Port Harcourt right now. It looks as if the problem, the crisis between the FUBRA group, that is the governor's group, and the former governor's group, who is currently the FCT minister, Nyesom Wike, doesn't seem to be, the problem is not ebbing, the problem is not getting out of the way. It seems to be, in spite of the fact that so much has been provoked by the problem, so much so that what do you call it, a 6-month state of emergency was declared, and it looks as if all of that has not produced the desired results. How do you read?
Okay, Mr. Dayo, thank you for having me once again. It's quite unfortunate that I'm not in Abuja right now and I'm in Port Harcourt. And just like you rightly said, that despite the lifting of the state of emergency, we still have issues still going on between the incumbent governor, who is Governor Simila Ekula, and the FCT minister, Mr. Nyesom Wike. You can remember very well that in your studio 2 months ago, I made it clear that what we have seen is not the actual peace that was expected, because even when the governor went to Abuja, I raised the concern that I'm not sure that this is the kind of peace that we actually want in Rivers State, of which it was just temporary. So with what we've seen within the few days, how the FCT minister have continued to tour in a thank you tour visit, touring around the 23 local government, is another way of trying to also make the governor and the world, including the president, who he has perceived have actually torn the path of the governor. Of which, I told you earlier before now that the highest that will happen to Rivers State is for the president to work with the governor. And the FCT minister have also seen that as it is now, the president is ready to work with the governor, and as such, his own, prestige, his own influence is going to be jeopardized, of which is something that he never wanted to. So what is happening in Rivers State now is a clash of interest, in the sense that the FCT minister believed that whatever thing that the governor is supposed to do, he was supposed to take permission from him. He was supposed to ask, and such, his moving to the APC has become a major issue to the FCT minister, who sees to control both the APC, and as you all know, when it comes to the constitution of the APC, the governor of each state automatically becomes the leader of the party, and as such, there is not a vacuum of which the FCT minister will never want to accept that fact that the governor is the leader of the APC. So that's what we are witnessing in the state today. In the sense
that's
that
the point of contention, the leadership of the party or the leadership of the state. Let's take a look again, Doctor. How does it? I do not know, to the average Rivers man, where do they actually stand on this matter? I mean, is it on the side of Wike or on the side of the governor? Because as it is, from the footages that we have seen mammoth crowds everywhere that the FCT minister goes. We have also seen such crowds where Fubra goes. So where exactly do the average Rivers people stand?
Okay, Mr. Dayo, I can tell you without mincing word that the average Rivers man is standing strong with the governor of Rivers State. Okay. What they believe is that yes, when he was the governor of Rivers State, he ruled it for 8 good years, and as such, the average Rivers State believe that he should also allow the governor to complete his 8 years. So what you are seeing now, what is happening, that was what the FCT minister wanted during the state of emergency, because he knows that the structure which happens to be at the local government level, he knows that if it is not the people that are loyal to him, it is very difficult. So what you are seeing and what is going about is trying to galvanize support to the chairman of the councils, because they have the funds, they have the resources. And as you all may know, in all this talk that is going on now, it's politics, and the politics is trying to create awareness and telling the national that he is in charge. But the typical Rivers man is with the governor, because that is why the FCT minister is trying to do everything humanly possible in making sure that the governor does not get a ticket. But the truth of the matter is, how are you fighting an APC governor when you are not a member of the APC? That's exactly the point of contention here.
That's the very point. That's the very point that was made by the secretary of the party yesterday in a press release that was made available to the public space yesterday by Bashir, what's his name now, the secretary of the party, that what gives him the audacity and the temerity to begin to interfere in matters of the APC when he's not even a member of the APC? So you can take it from there. Okay, so now, just like I was trying to make my own analysis, the point is that the fear
of the FCT minister is now in Rivers State, he knows very well that the people of Rivers State are with the governor. And hence, if the governor is able to clean the ticket of the APC, automatically the governor is going to win the 2027 election. And that is why in different fora he has said that if the governor of Rivers State wins, politically he will be buried. But if you look at the statement issued by the secretary of the party, Bashiru, he has made it clear that this is a party affairs, and hence you are not a member of the APC. So how will you begin to decide who becomes the ticket, the flag bearer of the party? And hence he should as well resign if or defect to the APC. But I can tell you for free that what the FCT minister is actually doing is not what the Rivers State people expected of him.
Okay. Let me ask you
because
quickly.
When
now,
he was
if you say that the average Rivers man or average Rivers person is lining up behind the governor, so those crowds we see where Wike goes, what does that mean?
Okay, I can tell you for free, this is Rivers State, and you know, most times the politician, you know, have been able to use what they call a stomach infrastructure. They use stomach infrastructure in a way that are trying to put the people at perpetual poverty. And what is happening in Rivers State, they always mobilize. Whenever time they have this tour, they mobilize, they send buses to almost all the wards to convey people. And as you all know, most times, most of these local government chairmen, they've been given an order, a standing order, to make sure they mobilize. But I can tell you for free that in all of this mobilization, almost all where this tour is taking place is always in the council secretariat, because they know that if they come outside, like in an open space, it will be very difficult. So almost all the tour that the FCT minister is touring around Rivers State is always inside the council secretariat. I'm not sure if I've ever heard any of the tour outside the council secretariat.
What does that imply? What's the implication of that? Is it that the staff are mandated to be a part of such events?
Not just the staff, but you know, each of the buses, when they bring each of the buses, they give those individuals 2,000 or 3,000 per se. Just like I was trying to say, but because of hunger, you know, most times these faces that you see at the FCT minister's rally, they are the same faces that you still see at the governor's rally. But the difference is that when it comes to that of the governor, you see that there is this organic solidarity, because the people are actually with the governor. And what the FCC is doing is to compel the chairman of councils in as much as for them to mobilize crowd to go. But for you to see it clearly is, whenever time they have this tour, the tour is always taking place inside the council, of which ordinarily is supposed to be in an open field. But they know that once they come to open field, they cannot get that massive crowd that they need. So they end up in having this rally inside the council. So I can tell you for free that almost all the tour that he's doing is always inside the council of each of the local government.
Okay, two questions as we begin to close. Two questions. Now, if the governor does not have control over the local government councils, what is the possibility of the rug not being pulled off his feet in the 2027 elections? That's one. The other one is there a way out of this crisis? Did you get that?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, the point is that one thing that the politicians have failed to understand is that I believe that with this new INEC chairman, it's not going to be business as usual. And that is why we always, you know, advocated for electronic, you know, transmission of result.
Right.
You know, the point is that if INEC will be transparent and fair enough to transmit the result, I can bet you for free. 2023 election, we all know that Peter Obi, despite all intimidation, despite all, because one thing that the average Rivers State man does not like is intimidation. So the average Rivers State man is ever ready to resist intimidation. So I can tell you for free that all the former chairmen that were under the Fubara before they were sacked by the Supreme Court, are still, of course, they are still on ground, and they've all defected to the APC. So first, if the governor of Rivers State is willing to contest for second term and he has been given the ticket, I can tell you for free that 2027, the people of Rivers State will come out in mass and they're going to protect their votes. And that is one thing that the FCT minister never wanted to. That is why he's trying to do everything humanly possible in order for the governor not to have a ticket in any of these political parties, because he knows that the people of Rivers State are solidly behind the governor. I can tell you for free that majority of the council chairmen that we have now in Rivers State, they are not doing what is expected of them to do. I can tell you for free, because they are puppets. They are people that bring them to power. So they are all accountable to the party. But be it as it may, this is an APC affair. So if the APC chairman, you can remember vividly well when he was issuing out the 001 party card to the governor, he said it was a directive from the national. So the case of Rivers State cannot be an exception. If APC constitution says that the governor
is the leader in every state,
the leader of the party.
All right, so all right. As we close on this now. Do you think there's anything that can be done to stave off this crisis, to put an end today? 1, 2, 3 things that you think can be done, and all of this crisis will become history. Is there any such thing?
Yes, I think it lies in the onus of the president. The president has to come in, because when you look,
he has come in once or twice before. He has also wielded his power by bringing in a state of emergency and all that.
Yes, yes. Now, when you look at, last time in your studio, I told you something, that the state of emergency only availed the governor to have a direct link with the president, of which before now it was not like that. It was only the FCT minister that have access to the president. So whatever thing he tells the president will act on that. But today, the governor also have have that direct link to discuss directly with the president. So I am calling on Mr. President at this point in time, because if the FCT minister is not called to order, because he has said in several forums that nobody can call him to order when it comes to the issue of Rivers State. So the question is that, is Rivers State his personal estate? Rivers State is never his personal estate. So what can be done is for the president to call the FCT minister to order, and as a party, do the needful in making sure that there's no breaking down of law and order. Because if you see what the FCT minister is doing, if the governor is not a peace-loving governor, I can tell you for free that there would have been crisis. There would have been crisis.
All right. We've actually run out of time.
But the governor,
but the governor has maintained the peace. I guess that's what you want to say.
No crisis.
All right. Let's leave it here because of time. That's Dr. Eniza McLean, a public affairs analyst. We connected him from Port Harcourt, even though he's Abuja based ordinarily. And he's saying that the only way out of this is for Mr. President to call the FCT minister to order. We'll leave it there. Thank you very much, Dr. McLean. It's bye for now. Thank you so much, our audience, our viewers. Thank you for the dedication, for the loyalty. It's me, Dayo Omogwan, and I'm saying thank you so very much for staying tuned. And please join me on Matters Arising at 8 o'clock in the evening. From 8 to 9, we'll take on another matter. Thank you. Bye-bye.